Now probing how the clashes broke out last night in Jahangirpuri. The situation was tense in northwest Delhi. In the aftermath of these clashes, 10 teams have been formed to probe the violence. 2 teams of rapid action forces were deployed in the area to ensure no further clashes break out. Security was scaled up in Delhi and neighbouring districts of UP. Police appealed to the public to not fall prey to any rumours about the violence as investigation continues. Home Minister Amit Shah spoke to top Delhi police officials and instructed them to strictly maintain law and order. Delhi LG Anil Baijal has said that the guilty will not be spared.
सर क्या फिलहाल अभी सिचुएशन है यहाँ पर जिस तरीके के हुआ उस पर क्या भी फिलहाल सिचुएशन है?
नहीं, आप देख रहे हैं सिचुएशन अंडर कंट्रोल है। लोगों से हम निवेदन कर रहे हैं, लोगों से हम रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि सिचुएशन शांति बनाए रखें और ये किसी भी कम्युनिटी में कोई एक कम्युनिटी किसी भी दूसरे कम्युनिटी कोई नुकसान न कर पाए। और पुलिस का एडिक्वेट प्रेजेंस है, मुकम्मल सुरक्षा व्यवस्था है और इसको हम हर हालत में कायम रखेंगे, हर हालत में इसको इफेक्टिव तरीके से ग्राउंड पे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे।
क्या तमाम दिल्ली के जितने भी स्टेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं उनको भी इस तरह अलर्ट पर मोड पर रहने के लिए कहा गया है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, दिल्ली पुलिस पूरी तरह से अलर्ट है।
कितने पुलिसकर्मी भी घायल हुए हैं सर?
इसका आकलन कर रहे हैं। ठीक है,
इस तरह से ये जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं इसका भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत निंदा करती है और मैं सभी दिल्ली वासियों से, जहांगीरपुरी के निवासियों से शांति बनाए रखने की अपील करता हूं और इसके साथ ही साथ मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से भी एक कार्यकर्ताओं का डेलीगेशन वहां जाएगा और परिस्थितियों की वहां की जांच करेगा और दिल्ली पुलिस उन पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई करके उनको सजा दे, इसकी भी मांग करता हूं।
ये लोग देश में इस तरह का वातावरण पैदा करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। मैं यही कहना चाहता हूं, ये नफरत के बीज बोने का काम जो विपक्षी दल कर रहे हैं, अपनी राजनीतिक नैया को डूबने से बचाने के लिए ये देश की जनता बड़े ध्यान से देख रही है। इनके कारनामे जनता ने पहले भी देखे, इनको पहले भी नकारा है और आगे भी जनता नकारेगी।
ये घटनाएं जो हैं ये अचानक नहीं हुई हैं, साजिश के तहत हो रही हैं। पुलिस तत्काल इसकी जांच करे और दोषियों को सख्त से सख्त सजा हो। और मैं मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी से भी निवेदन करूंगा कि ये समय घटना से पल्ला झाड़ने का नहीं है, जिम्मेदारी से भागने का नहीं है। मिल करके ऐसी घटनाओं में दोषी को सजा दिलाने के लिए आगे आना चाहिए।
सर ये कोई थी 6-6:30 बजे की घटना थी। ये उस टाइम ही जब आ रहे थे, ईंट रोड़े तलवारें चल रही थी वहाँ पे। अच्छा। जब हम आ रहे थे, ड्यूटी से आ रहे थे उस टाइम।
कितनी भीड़ थी वहाँ पे?
बहुत भीड़ थी, भागदड़ मच रही थी बहुत तेज।
अच्छा।
हाँ जी, बहुत तेज भगदड़ मच रही थी। हम भी खुद भागे थे इधर का, साइकिल से ही वापसी हो गए थे।
अच्छा।
हाँ, पुलिस वाले आए जब ही।
कौन लोग थे जो तलवार चला रहे थे?
ये नहीं मालूम कौन थे।
स्थानीय लोग थे, यहीं पे रहने वाले लोग थे जिनको आप जानते हैं?
हाँ, जानते नहीं है, ये तो हंगामा जैसे हुआ, भगदड़ हुआ। हम तो
Breaking news coming in, around 15 suspects have been taken into custody for questioning is what we are picking up at the moment. Let's bring that news on your screens at the moment. 15 suspects taken into custody. That's the big breaking this morning. The suspects have been taken into custody after questioning. The Delhi LG has assured that the guilty will not be spared. The cops have appealed to not fall for rumours. Central forces have been deployed. Shreya is bringing us up to speed with the very latest in terms of the latest development. Shreya, my first question to you is on the development that's coming in on the 15 suspects that have been taken into custody. If you could elaborate further on that. And the other big thing is for the viewers who are uninitiated about what's going on here, how did this all begin?
Well, yes, Chaiti, first of all, the 15 people have already been detained. This has been happened overnight. They're right now being questioned by the police, and follow up to this, we will definitely see some arrests that will happen in the case. But right now, 15 of them are in the custody. They are being detained by the Delhi police. They are being questioned since late last night. We saw all those senior police officials from the Delhi police present here in Jahangirpuri. And today, if I can give you an update of what's the scenario, then you can see how heavy police deployment still continues to be on the ground in Jahangirpuri, and there are riot control vehicles that are also on the ground that we can see. As I will ask my camera person to just pan and give you a whole idea of what's happening at the ground where the clashes begun, because you can still see the shards of glass pieces that are lying from yesterday night's clashes that took place here in Delhi's Jahangirpuri. This was evening when a Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra was passing from this very locality that suddenly clashes erupted. We've seen some videos, but obviously those are right now being verified before any statement is officially released by the Delhi police on what exactly caused the trigger leading to these clashes. But if we can say the situation is under control, because from late last night only we saw all senior police officials coming on the ground from Special CP Law and Order. From the DCP over here, we saw the police commissioner also put out tweets that everything is under control. We also saw the Delhi Police's cyber cell being extremely active. 2 separate desks was also made to continuously monitor any kind of fake news that was coming on Twitter. Individually, these news were tracked down to ensure that no further commotion is reached, and that's how they probably ensure that the matter doesn't escalate from the hand. This is the very place, Chaiti, I repeat, from where the incident began. You can see some remnants from what happened yesterday in that clash that erupted when that Hanuman Jayanti Yatra was passing through this area.
All right, Shreya, also bring us up to speed in terms of the assurances that have been given by the Home Minister, the Delhi LG and others involved on the suspects, on the perpetrators of this violence.
Well, obviously, Chaiti, so far as the assurance is concerned, we've seen all senior officers from Delhi Police, from the Home Minister also, who took a stock of the situation late last night itself. We also saw the Delhi LG tweet out. We saw the Chief Minister of the state also put out a tweet requesting calm and peace. But if I talk about the scenario on ensuring that those who are responsible behind this are taken to book, yesterday itself, the special cell team of Delhi Police was here on the ground. They collected scientific evidence, which is basically the CCTVs from the area. They are cluing in on people who actually started this very clash, and obviously the follow-up of what happened. So far as assuring people that action will be taken, we can very well say that Delhi Police swung into action yesterday itself. It was a very prompt action that also came in from Delhi Police, with heavy police deployment, all senior officers being present on the ground, the special cell becoming active, the cyber cell becoming active. So definitely very soon, Chaiti, we can see the culprits who are responsible for this being booked, being arrested. 15 of them are already in detention. They are being questioned. Very soon we'll probably get a formal confirmation on how many have been arrested.
For sure, then India Today will be handling the story rather very sensitively, because this is a clash that has been erupted allegedly between 2 communities, and hence we will handle this story rather sensitively, and only the facts first here on India Today. For now, thanks Shreya for joining us with the details. Showdown erupts over Azan in 3 states. In Maharashtra, MNS Chief Raj Thackeray attended Mahapuja on the occasion of Hanuman Jayanti. In UP's Aligarh and Varanasi, right-wing organizations have demanded a ban on Azan on loudspeakers. In MP's Bhopal, there was a chorus for Hanuman Jayanti rally. Here is a report.
The loudspeaker face-off only getting louder. As a counter to Azan, Hanuman Chalisa being recited on loudspeakers from Maharashtra to Uttar Pradesh to Madhya Pradesh. Flexing its Hindutva muscle in Pune, MNS held a Maha-Aarti reciting the Hanuman Chalisa. The mega event was organized after the party chief Raj Thackeray issued an ultimatum to Uddhav Thackeray-led Maha-Aghadi government on removing loudspeakers from mosques.
आम्ही हनुमान चालीसा लावणार म्हणजे लावणार.
The threat did not go down too well with the Shiv Sena.
हिंदू समाज में भी कुछ ओबीसी निर्माण हुए हैं, एमआईएम निर्माण हुए हैं, और वो महाराष्ट्र में इस प्रकार का धार्मिक विद्वेष फैलाकर बीजेपी को मदद करना चाहते हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश के चुनाव में जो काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने ओवैसी से करके लिया है, वही काम यहाँ नव हिंदुत्ववादी ओवैसी जो बने हैं यहाँ, उनसे बीजेपी करवाना चाहती है।
आदरणीय राज साहब ने मनसे सैनिकों के लिए एक आदेश दिया है और वो आदेश के अनुसार अगर 3 तारीख तक ये लाउडस्पीकर उतारे नहीं गए तो हम रास्ते पे उतरने वाले हैं। लाली और अब्बास की सरकार है और ये सरकार ही ये इशू खड़ा कर रही है। अगर ये इशू ही नहीं होगा तो बाकी चीज़ें नहीं होगी। अगर इशू सरकार ही खड़ा करेगी तो बाकी चीज़ तो होने ही वाली है। हिंदू रास्ते पे उतरेगा।
बात तो पूरे देश में है। अभी धर्म के नाम पर चाहे राम हो या हनुमान हो या हनुमान चालीसा हो या महाआरती हो, ये विवाद तो तैयार जानबूझ के किए जा रहे हैं।
In Uttar Pradesh, the high decibel Azan loudspeaker debate resonated from Aligarh to Varanasi. In Aligarh, right-wing groups demanded permission to play Hanuman Chalisa on loudspeakers at 21 spots.
The Azan controversy has now reached Uttar Pradesh's Aligarh. Right-wing fringe group named Samta Manch has demanded that loudspeakers from the top of mosque should be removed and Azan should not be played out on loudspeakers. Otherwise, they will put up loudspeakers in 21 public places, including temples like Gilraj Temple, and they will play Hanuman Chalisa whenever Azan is played out on the mosques.
के बाद हम लोगों ने 13 तारीख को एडीएम सिटी को एक ज्ञापन के माध्यम से हमने 21 लाउड स्पीकरों की अनुमति प्रशासन से मांगी थी। अभी तक प्रशासन ने वो अनुमति हम लोगों को नहीं दी है।
ये विवाद पैदा करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, जबकि धर्म में कोई विवाद होता नहीं है।
In Varanasi too, Hanuman Jayanti became an occasion for a face-off. There was chorus for a Hanuman Jayanti rally in Madhya Pradesh's capital, Bhopal too.
लोकल स्तर पर प्रशासन को तय करना है, ये कोई सरकार के स्तर के निर्णय नहीं है। और मैं समझता हूँ कि सभी जगह बात हुई, सब ध्यान दे रहे हैं, चिंता कर रहे हैं।
Politics of polarization or a genuine concern about noise pollution? One thing is certain, the loudspeaker debate is only expected to get louder. Bureau Report, India Today.
Russia is going all guns blazing in southeastern Ukraine. In the latest development, Russia has claimed complete control over Mariupol's Lich steel and iron plant, one of the major remaining outposts of the Ukrainian forces in the city. Russia had earlier claimed full control over the city. Ukrainian President Zelensky strongly reacted to the attack and said the destruction of Mariupol defenders will put an end to negotiations with Russia and there is a possibility to terminate them. Russian President Putin had earlier warned that his army will continue the attack till their goals are met. The port city of Mariupol has seen the worst fighting of the 7-week-long war with Russia. Russian state television has declared that World War III has already started after the sinking of its naval vessel Moskva. Although Putin has said that this was damaged after a fire, Ukraine claimed the credit of destroying the flagship vessel of Moscow's Black Sea Fleet through its Neptune missile. Will this sinking warship be the turning point in this two-nation war? Take a look.
Russia fires a new threat. The biggest, most potent one yet. A threat of World War III. After 53 days of war, Russia has triggered the ghost of a global war. After suffering its biggest military setback on April 13th, Russia has alarmingly declared that World War III has begun already. In a video now going viral on social media, Russian state TV announced that World War III has begun after the sinking of Russian cruiser Moskva.
Это вылилось уже смело можно называть, не лукавя, Третьей мировой войной. Совершенно точно. Мы прямо сейчас сражаемся, если не с НАТО, то уж точно с инфраструктурой НАТО. И это тоже надо.
Russia's most formidable warship in the Black Sea was destroyed, and Ukraine claimed they sank the ship with anti-ship missile. The Pentagon, however, did not confirm Ukraine's claim, but did not refute it either. The Russian Defense Ministry, meanwhile, has claimed the warship sank due to a fire caused by a storm. The World War III declaration comes after repeated nuke threats from Russia.
Outcome of the operation, of course, is not a reason for usage of a nuclear weapon. We have a security concept that very clearly states that only when there is a threat for existence of the state in our country, we can use and we will actually use nuclear weapons to eliminate the threat for the existence of our country.
Let me assure you, a responsible member of the international community committed to its obligations to non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Russia is taking every possible measure to prevent Ukraine from getting nuclear weapons and respective technologies.
Bureau Report, India Today.
An explosion on April 13 damaged the Russian-guided missile cruiser Moskva. Following this, pro-Kiev social media accounts shared a video, and we'll get you more on that in just about a bit. They shared a video of an exploding ship, claiming it was the footage of Moskva's demise. India Today's anti-fake news war room has now busted this fake claim. More details in the next report.
On the 13th of April, Russia suffered its biggest military setback. The Russian-guided missile cruiser Moskva was severely damaged after a massive explosion rocked and sank the warship. Satellite images on your screen show the vessel in and around Sevastopol in Crimea on April the 7th and April the 10th. Moskva, the flagship of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, was badly damaged when ammunition then blew up on board. While Moscow maintains it was a fire near the warship's ammunition hold that caused the explosion, Ukraine maintains a pair of its Neptune anti-ship missiles were responsible for the strike and the sinking of this mega ship. Following this, pro-Kiev social media accounts shared a video of an exploding ship claiming it was footage of Moskva's demise and sinking. However, India Today's anti-fake news war room fact-checked the claim made by many sections in Ukraine. The video captured a Norwegian missile test fired in 2013, totally unrelated to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and nearly a decade before. The clip shows the exploding vessel from some distance, making it difficult to compare it to images of the Moskva. The video shows the test firing from two different angles. 40 seconds into the video, we notice a long-range shot of the missile strike, the part that we saw in the video that's gone totally viral on social media. According to reports, Norway used a decommissioned frigate as cannon fodder for its new subsonic missile back in June 2013. The location of the test firing was off the coast of Andøy in Norway.
So far, Ukraine was fighting a defensive war, but since the sinking of Moskva, which Ukraine claims was because of two anti-ship missiles fired off the coast of Odessa, where the ship was on the Black Sea, that's where a very serious escalation is likely on the cards.
Bureau Report, India Today.
The joy of physical schools was momentary for many kids in the national capital region. A slight spike in COVID cases has resulted in closing down. However, the experts say shutting down of schools is no solution and it is unscientific. My colleague Sneha Murdani explains.
2 years on, some sign of normalcy for kids with schools opening up. But this joy has been rather short-lived. After the decline of the third wave in India, fueled by the relatively mild Omicron variant, cases have started to increase in Delhi city and the national capital region. And first to face the brunt of it, as always, has been the schools. A handful of infections in Noida, Ghaziabad and Delhi has prompted schools to close down. The Delhi government has gone to the extent of issuing an advisory that schools should close if a case of COVID appears. Experts say the advisory is unscientific and that closing down of schools should be the last resort.
When the general precautions are withdrawn, when people stop wearing masks, especially in closed spaces, the virus gets to spread freely among people. So the outbreak in a school might be a signal of a larger outbreak within the region. Closing of a school must be done as a last resort because continuing in-person education is extremely important for children.
Pediatricians who have seen rare cases of severe COVID infection in kids also agree.
We know that this wave, unless a new variant comes or the mortality increases, there is no need to panic. We need not to close down the schools. It is just knee-jerk reaction that is not warranted.
Given the rarity of severe infection in children and also very few occurrences of multi-inflammatory syndrome post-COVID, coupled with the mild infection being seen due to Omicron and its subtypes, experts say schools should not and must not close. Most parents agree.
As a parent, I feel that schools are being singled out for no good reason, really. I mean, where are similar testing, surveillance, shutdown guidelines for offices, for malls, for cinemas, for markets, which are very crowded and everybody is going everywhere. Everything is open. It's not just schools. Infection can be anywhere. SARS-CoV-2 lives everywhere, not just in schools.
Schools must go on, and kids must enjoy the certainty of attending school. This constant vacillation between online and offline school has a detrimental and irreparable damage on the mental growth of our kids.
The DTMA, or the Delhi Disaster Management Authority, is all set to meet on the 20th of April to discuss the increase in cases in Delhi and also discuss the increase in the positivity rate. The chorus, however, is growing that it is now time to live with the virus, with COVID protocol, and not really run away from the virus. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
Their wedding, Bollywood diva Alia Bhatt and heartthrob Ranbir Kapoor are throwing a wedding reception party at their residence Vastu in Mumbai. Amongst the earlier guests who arrived for the small gathering were Alia Bhatt's sister Shaheen Bhatt and Soni Razdan. Ranbir Kapoor's mother Neetu Kapoor and sister Ridhima also arrived after filmmaker Aryan Mukherjee made his way for the party. Karan Johar, who considers Alia his daughter, also was amongst the guests who attended the reception party. Alia's best friends Anushka and Akanksha Ranjan were also a part of the post-wedding celebration. Ever since the couple tied the knot, Ranbir and Alia's visuals and photos have been breaking the internet. Alia looked nothing short of a dream in her Sabyasachi ivory sari, while Ranbir complimented her in a colour-coordinated sherwani. The couple made their first appearance after sharing pictures on social media. Their Mehendi and Sangeet ceremony was on 13th of April. Alia shared pictures from the function. So wrap from me, Chaitanya Rula on this bulletin. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or go ahead and download our app.